along with Joanna at Mortgage Shots. Listen, if you like the shows that we're bringing you on a regular basis, do us a favor and share this on your social sites and keep the conversation going. After all, it also helps us in the process. Pretty good place to be. Now on with our show. The VA, the Veterans Affairs, has decided to create a temporary fix for real estate agents so they can get paid while representing active duty and veterans. That's a great thing.
VA policy states that while a veteran is allowed to use a buyer broker to purchase a home using their VA loan benefit, they, quote, may not under any circumstances be charged a brokerage fee or commission in connection with the services of such individuals.
Now, under the National Association of Realtor Commission lawsuit and the changes NAR has implemented, listing brokers will not be allowed to make blanket offers of cooperative compensations to buyers' agents on the multiple listing systems that they all have. They can't put it in there, hey guys, show my house, because there's going to be commission here for you. That's a no-no. And buyers are required to sign a buyer representation agreement outlining how much they're going to pay their agent for the services. This practice puts vets at a disadvantage because as it stands, vets cannot pay buyer representation compensation. That's about to change with a patchwork solution, that means temporary, until the VA can go through their arduous and long-winded standard rulemaking process.
According to the Mortgage Bankers Association, you can expect an answer between now and June 12th, which is prior to the actual implementation of this rule. Of course, as soon as this comes out, we'll pass on all the details to you.
I gotta say, this is kind of a spilt milk statement that I'm gonna make, but how in the heck is this better for anybody? This whole thing is just absolute absurdity. It's ridiculous. Anyways, if you want to see what I think is the best solution for agents to deal with this buyer-agent agreement form, his name is John Natale, that we found, believe it or not, on TikTok, of all places. Now, we're going to show you that short video in its entirety at the end of the show. So if you're an agent or a broker in search of a great practical solution for your buyer-agent agreements, keep watching through the end of the show and you can check out this very short video. Last summer, Keller approved a change to its profit sharing that would cut what a profit-sharing Keller agent would otherwise have made. Now, we know that Keller Williams has had to pay out enormous amounts of money for these lawsuits, both in settlements and legal fees. Keller's overall business, well, it's down, pretty much like everybody else. And as such, clearly, your friendly neighborhood Keller Williams real estate agent is going to be more than happy to take a pay cut to their agreed upon and hard-earned profit sharing, said no Keller agent ever. Yet that's exactly what Keller voted on, passed, and proposed to their real estate agents. How do you think that went over?
Question, let me cut your pay because I'm having a hard time with my pay cuts. How was there any other way for this to play out except bad for Keller? It turns out agents were not asked, they didn't agree, and consequently have filed multiple class action lawsuits against their parent company. In response, Keller's decided to walk back their profit-sharing pay cuts in hopes of losing their agent-based lawsuits. But I've got to say, the damage has been done. Keller's not so well thought out decision has probably left more than a few agents scratching their heads wondering what their parent company has in mind. Confidence this does not build. Rather, distrust is what comes to mind, and the saga continues.
Now, moving on, and I gotta say, this is fascinating to me. You're looking at a graph of debt-to-income ratios for all home buyers from 1998 through 2023. This is sourced by the FHFA. Home buyer debt-to-income ratios are averaging, well, right around 40% in 2023. That number is the worst affordability on record. This according to the FHFA, and it's even worse than it was from the 2006 to the 2009 housing bubble that crashed the global economy. That bubble back then, it capped with a ratio of 39.1 that you can see over on the left-hand side of this graph. Now, as your eyes move over to the right, you can see that we're now at a 40 ratio. So are we in a bubble? Well, you bet we are, and it's about to pop. Dead serious about this too. Now, the thing is, as you look at this graph from the Fred St. Louis Fed of home values, now right there smack dab in the middle is the 2006 to the 2008 housing bubble of just a decade ago. And of course, you'll know now that in the bigger picture, that bubble was more of a blip. We got hit, values went down, and real estate, as it always, and I mean always does, recovered and fast and continued its march upward, outperforming stocks, beating inflation, and providing shelter and memories for families in the process. Now, the moral to the story, my friends, is this. Invest in real estate. It always pays. Not only should we not care if we're in a housing bubble, we should hope we are. A housing bubble would bring temporary payment relief for people looking to buy homes. It would breathe life back into the real estate industry and act as a booster shot for the economy. The DTI graph from a cursory examination may look bad to you, but it sings beautiful music to me because my origination business is going to flourish as a result of the obvious and soon to be realized outcomes of a real estate downturn. Temporary, my friends, though it may be. We hope this helps.
We just signed a buyer to a $1.5 million buyer agency agreement. I'm going to walk you through how we got them into the office, what we discussed, their common questions, and everything that I can give you. So you're going to want to save this video and probably share it with a friend as well. Let's start talking about how we approach the subject with the buyers to get them to come into the office. At the listing that I had talked about a month ago that I listed from a lead directly here from TikTok, these buyers came to that open house in which one of the agents at our company was hosting. When they notified her that they wanted to start looking and get out there and start searching with her, she very quickly pivoted the conversation and said, hey, have you heard about all the changes happening in the real estate industry when it comes to agent compensation? They're very smart people. They said, of course, we've heard. We don't know 100% what it means, but we do want to, learn more about it. She said, great. You're going to come into the office. You're going to meet with me, and you're going to meet with my broker, and he's going to go through all the different changes that have happened and go through the new buyer's agency agreement here in the state of New Jersey. They are coming from out of state, so they set it up when they were coming to look at homes right before they went out to look. I briefly walked them through some of the changes and what is changing in our marketplace. I went through New Jersey's brand new buyer agency agreement, which is now about a 7-page document rather than 2. And I described exactly what we are going to do, the 38 bullet points of what we do to help a buyer buy a home, the compensation we charge for doing so, and then we let them know that they have 3 options in which to pay that. 1 is obviously just a check at closing. Number 2 is to include it into the price. And number 3 is a seller's concession. We also let them know that as of right now, May of 2024, 95% of listings in our MLS offer compensation, at least some form of compensation, at least 2% to buyer's agents. And as months go on, that could certainly change. New Jersey has us highlight exactly what the buyer wants to see. So from include all properties, no matter the compensation, to exclude certain properties due to any variety of factors, including compensation. And their biggest question was, well, if someone's not offering out compensation, will we be forced to bring a check to closing? And we simply told them it will be 100% negotiated, and it will be negotiated either on the contract between a price, seller's concession, or if that is not a possibility, then yes, they will be liable to pay us a commission at closing. And then they signed. Stop overthinking the fact that people understand you have value and people will want you to get compensated for the work you are doing. Just be upfront and honest about it. And if you are worried about what is going to happen come July, well, technically now August, please book a free, completely free coaching discovery call with me. We are walking our coaching clients through how to do all this as we get closer and closer to the summer when these changes go into effect.